Hello, yo. Shalom, Wadu. Buenos dias. ¿Cómo está? Buenas noches. All right, Kwan. Shalom, Wadu. Dinka Allah. Al Shadain. Hakimo, Al Shadain. Hakimo. All right, Dinka Allah. Dinka Allah. All right. All right. Oh, yes, de enemigos míos. Alosio. Dorila. All right. So, I'm gonna share some videos today. So we're gonna see, and you can donate. You all can donate because I'm not monetized. So all of the ads helps with the apps behind the screen. Because I have apps behind the screen that I have to pay for. So all the apps helps. You know. So I'm not monetized. So every donation helps. Okay. And so I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna look at some TikTok solar eclipse. What they say happened today or what's going on. Let's see what we can just see all watch and build and watch the rosebuds. We're gonna watch it all bloom here together as it's nice. It's springing forward, right? We're springing forward. Okay. Oh, it's good to do Ramadan. Yeah, I don't see how people can eat like that over and over and over and over. It's good to do Ramadan. It is. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. Mhm.
A group of 15 royal bloodlines from Orion, known for their dark and violent history, took refuge on Maldek, exacerbating the planet's decline. These beings, possessing powerful multidimensional capabilities and various avatars, influenced Maldek's inhabitants, descendants of a defeated reptoid lineage from Earth, towards self-serving ideals, technological reliance, and control, further spiraling the planet into decay. This shift towards aggression led to threats against peaceful Martians, escalating to demands for Mars to surrender its territory or face conquest. The conflict drew in aid from the Pleiadians, summoned by Martian appeals, which Maldek interpreted as provocation, leading to a violent clash. Maldek used advanced electromagnetic gravity.
Ever wonder
How am I going to build my empire?
how I share my passion, my work with the world?
Chemical bombs that devastated the Martian atmosphere and population, with survivors fleeing to Sirius, the Pleiades, or Earth. In retaliation, the Pleiadians attacked Maldek, causing its leaders to disastrously increase their energy grid's power. This action led to Maldek's destruction, forming the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter and fragmenting the souls of its inhabitants. These soul fragments, along with those of the Martians' soul population,
Y'all see, well, we have a fight in here. You see, this is what we all have to learn together.
Before Maldek's destruction, the 15 Orion leaders escaped to Atlantis, 52,000 years in the past, intending to influence Earth's history. However, the Pleiadians countered by imposing a third density matrix to trap the Orion group and stabilize the situation, integrating the traumatized souls from Maldek and Mars into Earth's reincarnation cycle. These events have shaped Earth's history, with the Orion Group merging with other influential factions to form what is known as the Cabal, while some Pleiadians work towards assisting Earth's evolution beyond the third density matrix. Sanat Kumara, leading a group from Venus, established the 5D city of Shambhala above the Gobi Sea to stabilize Earth's situation, later creating a 4D city beneath it. Working with Pleiadians and evolved Martians, they aided the traumatized souls from the Maldek-Mars War, incarnating as primitive hominids with reduced psychic abilities. The group of humans from the Pleiadia about 17.5 million years before, and who were also living at the fourth density, most of Agartha is 4D territory, had already established a city underground, and they welcomed the Nakaals and also assisted with the construction. Then the Nakaals began. Together with the Pleiadian group and the more highly evolved Martians who had escaped the destruction of their planet's atmosphere in their light bodies, they began helping the traumatized souls of all those who had perished in the Maldek-Mars War, who were hovering around Tiamat, later known as Earth, in a great cloud, waiting to incarnate here. These poor souls were so traumatized and fragmented. They had lost all their psychic abilities and Akashic memory, and were barely sentient. They incarnated into the third density matrix as primitive hominids, the genus we know as Homo habilis. The active DNA was reduced to 2 strands, with the 10 other strands existing only as potential. The different soul families, each of which was comprised of shards from a previously intact single soul, incarnated into different tribes. Essentially, one tribe and one soul family, one shattered Maldekian or Martian soul. To this day, many of the souls who inhabit current are diverse.
You literally can't.
Hey, think about that though. Like they even showed you that in Avatar when those people, when they were trying to invade, you remember when they died, right? What bodies did they come back in? They came back in the blue Avatar bodies. That shit crazy though. And who did they say that the Avatar was? Look, we're gonna keep rolling though. We building.
Can't trust anything on TV. Watch until end.
Appreciate you, Clark.
You can't tell me this is normal. Look at his forehead. This is bullshit. That's a mask. That's a skin mask. It ain't normal. Look at it.
You can't believe anything you see these days. These glasses aren't even real. Neither is my face. All this stuff was 3D tracked on using these dots that I drew on with this marker. Actually, the marker isn't real either. Neither is the background. Or my face. Have a good night.
These guys are central casting. There's nobody in Hollywood that looks like these people.
We all see this one right here.
Your little business could become a big business. Your business could be bigger
Yeah.
than you dream, but you got to master.
There you are. Appreciate you.
not hiding. And they're coming out and saying who they are, what they believe, and they're going to expose themselves. As they expose themselves, people will lose their minds because they're not equipped to think that this dimension really existed. Right? They made friends with devils they can't see. So imagine these people whom have markings on their bodies, when they begin to see, these markings will start to move all over them. Like horrific movement of these demons. You think they're ready to see that? They thought this was just some simple thing they're doing to themselves. No, there's not anything simple with that. So they are not equipped now to understand the music they listen to brings these shaitans into their home. If they have to open their eyes and see the shaitans are sitting in their home because they're preparing themselves now to battle. We said the day would come when they show themselves, they're now prepared to battle if they show themselves, because that's their weakest state. As soon as they show themselves, they can be killed. So they begin to show themselves, and this is the purpose of putting their agenda and destroying and contaminating the hearts of people.
This is the most magical man I have ever seen, because every tattoo on his body becomes real. If it were you, what would you get a tattoo on? At that moment, the woman realized that the eagle's eyes on the wall had moved. Frightened, she rushed to lead her companions out of here. Sure enough, after they left, the eagle flew out of the wall. It turns out that he was sent by the men to monitor the enemy. This skill is practically invincible. Soon after the woman's trail was discovered, the vicious man immediately used a big move. He summoned countless poisonous snakes from his back and chased them at speed light. The horrible battle. They immediately, however, before long, the girl was blocked in the way, so scared that he could only keep whipping back.
This was already low. I couldn't turn it up.
Go ahead and try. Just can you try to say it though? Go ahead.
You say it first.
Kinnininikin. Go ahead.
I can't say it. I know I can't.
Say Kinnininikin.
Kinnininikin.
I can't. But I know what I am.
Can y'all say it? Can y'all say it? Kinnininikin. I can say it. You feel me? Kinnininikin. You know you got to use that the flick. If you can't say it, it's because your tongue is doing something wrong, and you might be something else.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like just think about it. Hey, we building right here. Somebody said, he's talking about you Democrats. Look, you in the wrong place if you see somebody's fucking skin. That's not that over here. I don't have to start checking people early. Like set your ass in the corner somewhere. No, I'm just joking with you, but nah, ain't none of that over here, bro.
I know.
That's Earth. Earth speaks.
But do you know what you are?
Say it one more time, please. I just. Wait a minute. Can you go on camera?
What, your chat's gonna go?
Can you go on camera?
Go crazy,
please.
No.
Why is that? All right, then I gotta block you because you are a lizard, and we know you are.
So are you?
Grand Rising, my chosen few. Man, this April 8th starting to get really exciting, isn't it? How cool is this? We're about to hit a massive paradigm shift, man. The frequency on this realm is about to shift like you've never seen it before. We're about to see 100 trillion cicadas show up from underneath the earth. And this is all part of God's plan, and nothing can stop God's plan. And what these cicadas are here to do, guys, they're here to change the frequency of this realm, and nothing can stop 100 trillion cicadas. Could you imagine what 100 trillion cicadas is going to sound like? And this is why they're starting to tell you guys that you're going to start to see demonic shaped faces and all this kind of thing, calling it a syndrome, this and that. That's because these reptilians aliens will not be able to cloak themselves any longer once this takes place, because the frequency shift is going to be that massive that they'll be all for you to see, and they're all around us, guys. They are surrounding us everywhere. So that's why they're starting to call it a syndrome, and nothing can stop what's coming, guys. So yeah, just be prepared for this. You're going to see some pretty crazy ass shit, guys. But this is exciting times, mate. I see in a lot of my comments, you're talking fear, this and that. There's a big difference between fear and awareness. Does it look like I'm holding any fear, guys? Of course not. And I know all my chosen few have no fear either. We've trained lifetime after lifetime for this moment, guys, and it's finally freaking here. So they can shoot rockets at the black sun. They can do all they like, whatever. Nothing can stop God's plan. How can you stop 100 trillion cicadas from coming up from beneath the earth to shift this frequency from massive paradigm shift, guys? This is it. This is going to change everything, and this is why you're going to start to see things that you haven't been able to see yet, because the frequency shift is just going to expose everything on this realm. But we're ready for this, guys. For those of you that are looking to stare at this black sun and get a glimpse of this eclipse, man, each to their own. But I advise you to not go there, not partake in any of this, guys. That's why they're giving you all these glasses and this and that, because they want you to look at this shit. It's going to be a portal, and who knows, you'll probably have blasted entities to you. You'll have demonic spirits hanging off you after that. Who knows? Each to their own. You do you, yeah. But all I can say is just be grounded, because you'll get these energies through the ground. So I know here in Australia we won't see anything to do with an eclipse, but we will receive every part of the energies that this is about to shoot out. So yeah, we're ready for this, guys. So yeah, be ready to start seeing some crazy ass shit. Much love, guys.
The new Star Wars film, there is a creature who amazes me called the Darth Maul. And what surprises me is this. Some film producers, like the producers, actually Africans who knows this down, we can identify that is a red and black being with a red cheetah woolly look like.
Yeah. And like, what do you do in that moment? Like, do you punch this nigga in the face? Like, I'm being serious. Like, what do we do? Like, how are people gonna see? Look, man, you gotta think. We're so judgmental on this planet, bro. This shit's so ghetto down here, man. We still gang banging over colors of skin and shit. If we see a red nigga with horns, he been here the whole time trying to blend in. I'm pretty sure. I see why they would be terrified too, unless they got some magical superpowers or something like that. Like shit get real. But look, that I don't want to say too much. We're gonna keep building.
Without any on their heads. These are the lesser cheetah, but the royal cheetah.
Yeah. Some of y'all might be in a relationship with one. I don't know.
Have got a ring of sharp horns all around their heads, and the very high cheetah, like their king Mubaba Samahongo, very long horns which grow this way, not that way like a bull, but this way like certain antelope. Now I wonder.
Attention retirees, if you're willing to be at your computer from 9 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. on most weekdays, I can show you one simple trade
damn shit. Now, I will say this too. One of the things that prompted, inspired to release this video is what's about to happen on April 8th. Now, I may release a second video going into depth about April 8th and what NASA is really attempting to do. And I've heard a couple brothers on TikTok go in the right direction with the Eclipse conversation and so on and so forth. And again, they're going in the right direction. But there's a lot that they're missing. And again, I think humanity deserves to know the whole truth. But I'm not sure if I should release that second video just yet. Because what you're about to see in this video is really...
Yeah, I know mankind and human beings not the same at all, but that lizard would have to have a fat ass, you know what I'm saying, for me to like reconsider. Yeah.
Weird.
I know I'm shallow, but look, whatever. I'm just being honest with y'all.
But it's true. And we're going to have to grasp the gravity of this situation because we're all being played in the worst way, right? And again, you need to know the truth. So for the purposes of TikTok and other social media, you need to know that I am a real scientist, okay? I designed certified space technologies, industrial water purifiers, all right? And I've also licensed 9 of NASA's inventions, 9 of their patents. Here you can see my signature next to Eugene Two's
Ron
signature,
Claudette,
who is the director of the NASA Ames Research Center in California, right? So I'm not just a guy saying some wild-eyed theories, right? What you're about to see is fact. What I'm telling you now is fact, right? But humanity needs to have a serious discussion about HARP, about CERN, and speaking from you. Imagine, well, let's just say I'll cover that in the second video, okay, if I release that. But it's bigger than HARP and CERN. Like there's more, I'll say this, there are more than one CERN, just like there's more than one HARP, okay? There are ionospheric heaters all over the freaking planet. But the real ones are placed in places that you won't even really see with Google Earth unless you know what you're really looking at and what to look for, okay? So I'm going to show you that inner Earth is real. And what you're about to see is not photoshopped at all. In fact, NASA attempted to destroy this and other photographs, you see, because they didn't want you to know what the Earth really freaking looks like. But I'm about to show you. Open the third eye. Let's get into it.
Hi, my name is Douglas James, and this is the DD240. If you have a DD240,
this here is a real photograph of. I want you to notice what you notice. There's something about this photograph that jumps out at you, and it's not this little square here, which this is extremely important. This is why it's highlighted. But notice here at the top, what is that giant circle up there? Really entry points into the Earth. So the Earth,
you remember that they already broke it down.
other portions, these other dimensions of the earth, all right? Literally. This is an entry point. This is why they no longer allow you to fly over the poles. This is why. Now, you remember the gentleman back in the day that wrote the book about flying over the pole, and he was pulled into the pole by a alien like advanced craft. Do you remember that? That is true. But you can see here. So think about it this way here. All right. So you have it. You have the Earth like this in a circle, right? And we are on the surface of the planet, the outer surface. Now there is a circle, or you could call it a sphere, inside of this sphere, all right? And there's another population of billions of people that live there. They don't connect with us, and we don't connect with them except in dream forms, right? And some of us even pick up communications via telepathic communication. Also,
Appreciate you.
within that second inner sphere is a third inner sphere with another population that are physical, just like us. I'm not talking metaphysically only.
Appreciate
Okay,
you. Yeah.
there are physical inhabitants there. Now, I would say watch Dr. Phil Valentine's um, uh, old video on the inner Earth that's still on YouTube. And by the way, if you connect with him, tell him Dr. Will Hawkins Jr. sent you. Okay, because he has
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money.
he has some amazing satellite footage zooming into the pole where you can actually see the inner earth. You can see the trees and water and all kinds of shit. It's true, right? But I wanted to give you a more comprehensive and robust image right here so that you can clearly see the entry point into the earth. And like I said, this is not Photoshop, and NASA who decided to hide this photograph along with thousands of others. And I'll tell you this too. Guys like Richard C. Hoagland are very important because Richard Hoagland, Dr. Hoagland, he's the one that exposed the fact that when NASA initially tried to get scientists to destroy tens of thousands of real photographs like this, those scientists only destroyed, let's say, 3/4 of those photos, and they hid others out in places like Ohio State University, right? And Ohio State had these lecture series where you can actually go and view the photographs, right? But this shit is real, man. This ain't a plaything. See, but to understand the level of geophysics and metaphysics involved, astrophysics as well, you got to know a little something about sacred geometry, or you got to have a little understanding of your spirit anatomy, your subtle anatomy, chakras, so on and so forth. But again, the North Pole, you look at it, you can look at the bottom of the photograph here, and you can see that the South Pole looks exactly like it, like literally. So when you look at those older, like from the 1980s, those depictions from NASA, like Dr. Phil Valentine said, yes, it looks like a giant freaking donut, right? And you have layers, like literally planetary layers that people, when it comes to the April 8th events, NASA is going to try some slick shit, y'all. They're trying something that could actually destroy the whole planet, right? And like I said, I don't know if I should go there because who knows? Maybe they'll change their mind about that part and decide not to do it. I don't know. But if you're listening,
I don't think them niggas changed their mind, y'all, because just last night they shot another rocket. I got the video in this video here. You'll see it. It ain't the same as last time, but you'll get to see it. They ain't changed their mind, so they still gonna shoot that shit. Cause I seen it.
If you work with NASA and you know what the hell I'm talking about, don't you fucking idiots destroy the rest of us along with you. We're not in we're not in it for that. You know, if you want to destroy a fucking planet, you get the fuck off of this one. You go somewhere else or whatever the fuck you need to do, right? But don't destroy our home, dumbass.
There is a
Hey, but look, remember how they already showed you that in what Ant-Man? You remember how they shrunk down, shrunk down, shrunk down? If you haven't watched it before this thing happens, like you shrunk down and it was different realms and universes when you were going through. It's like a whole multiverse in there, you know. You shrink down and it's different, and we go inside the Earth. That's just a reference to that. You know, they know there's different civilizations down there, and then you got to think about what the King Kong versus Godzilla movies. What are they doing? They're coming when this. Guess the new frequencies come, and it's show Monarch. They come from under the ground, and they're showing lizards coming from out of the ground and stuff like that. Prehistoric animals. They've been hinting at this. They've been telling us this. So I don't know. Look, me, I don't want to see that shit. That shit happen. I'm cool on that. Don't come up. Stay where y'all at. If it's over for y'all down there, you feel me? Don't come up here and fuck our shit up. You know, like stay where you at. I'd rather for that to happen. I'm betting on it not to happen. Like, but don't quote me on that. If the solar, if something happened and we start to see that type of stuff, then damn, you know, I'm gonna go live though. I ain't gonna hold you. If we got electricity, which I'm betting on, we have electricity. I'm betting on that. How many of y'all think that some stuff like that'll happen? I'm not one of those people that's thinking that. I'm not, but it's cool to think about. It's cool to have a conversation about. I'm be real with y'all. I'm not gonna be on here and be like, oh, I believe it's gonna happen and this and that. I'm not that. I'm not that guy. Now I think that we might get some powers though, maybe.
force that doesn't want you to awaken. What is it about?
Because one thing we do know on a serious note is we got within inside of us, we got a whole bunch of and if you look at what they've been studying as far as our junk DNA with the the changing of the frequencies of the earth and the sun and everything, that can possibly wake that stuff back up. To be real with y'all, that's on a real note right there. You can look that stuff up yourself. That's not made up. It's not make believe. None of that. Look it up. Call it junk DNA, and it can be activated by what the frequencies and stuff from the planet, from the sun. The black sun is coming up, and we don't know. We're just speculating at this point. Let's be real.
If you awaken, it makes them so fearful of you. That's what you should ask yourself, because within you is a God. The God power is just simply man who can become as a God and get off this planet. We're fallen man. We are the Anunnaki we search for. Then what they have to do with technology, you can do with the mind. That's the difference between a God man and a mankind and human. It's a big difference. When you use those words interchangeably, again, you're wrong. There are all different kind of consciousnesses, all different kind of races. Whatever is latent within us, whatever this planet wants to live have on her, must be so strong that it will take it away from them, take us past them, and they will fight to the death not to get it, because they know if we awaken, we might do to them what they did to us, and they're very fearful of it. This is a time of great change. It's a time of awakening. Don't think you're alone. Many people are awakening. Don't worry about those who aren't. Work with those who are. This is where we'll get forward.
Y'all, oh my God. I live in New York. We just had an earthquake. I ain't never felt nothing like that before. What the fuck?
Hey, facts though. You ever been in an earthquake before? Put them fire emojis if you have ever been in an earthquake. That shit's crazy.
No, but I know there's
It's
gonna be
crazy.
some more earthquakes. I still see the ground
You don't
cracking and
understand if you
more
ain't never
water.
been in one, like a real serious one. You get what I'm talking about. Like you at the mercy of the land. That's real talk. So whatever is gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Unless you get the ability to fly. So nigga, like
bread at the same time.
How would you like to take a step?
Same time since 1803.
It will be somewhat similar to what the Bible prophesied in the book of Revelation chapter 9 verses 2 and 3. The sun and sky were darkened by the smoke from the abyss, and out of the smoke locusts came down on the earth and were given power like that of scorpions of the earth. And just a couple of days ago, New York City, one of the largest cities in the world, experienced multiple earthquakes days before the solar eclipse.
Tonight with the breaking news, the aftershocks felt just moments ago in New York City and beyond after that earthquake hit this morning, a 4.8 magnitude earthquake.
Just 2 days after the world was stunned by that catastrophic earthquake in Taiwan comes a quake right here in New York City. At 10:23 a.m., the Big Apple was rattled by a 4.8 magnitude earthquake.
This is crazy. Earthquake just shake Manhattan just now.
Headquarters, the Trumpers interrupted a Security Council meeting on Gaza. Education is networks interrupted programming with the breaking news.
The earthquake this morning rocking millions from Maryland right up to Maine, triggering confusion at first and then alarm. Ground stops at New York airports. The epicenter in New Jersey, some 40 miles west of New York City, 60 miles north of Philadelphia, the strongest in the area in more than 100 years.
It is interesting to see those earthquakes happening in major cities around the world just days before the solar eclipse. Some might call it coincidence, others might beg to differ. Now, if you think about all those earthquakes in the book of Revelation, which is the book of the end times in the Bible, and there are references in that book that talk about 5 major earthquakes. In Revelation chapter 6, verses 12 through 14, the Apostle John talks about the great earthquake. In Revelation chapter 8 and verse 5, the Apostle John talks about the second earthquake. In Revelation 11 verse 13, John talks about the earthquake caused by the 6th trumpet. In Revelation 11 and verse 19, we see the 4th earthquake caused by the 7th trumpet. And finally, in Revelation 16 and verse 18, we see the 5th and final earthquake, which will be the greatest earthquake that this world has ever seen, as described by John in the book of Revelation. Now, I want to point out the fact that exactly 7 years ago, there was an eclipse that went over America, and its path will cause of that God. Maybe
there was an eclipse that took place 7 years ago, went right across America. There's another eclipse coming right across America. It'll make a perfect cross on the center of the nation.
God made the first sign go through 7 cities named Salem on August 21st, 2017.
The word Salem, according to the Bible, is peace. So God is saying 7 times he offered peace. The next eclipse is coming. It goes through several cities here. Nineveh, 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 Nineveh. Jonah gave Nineveh 40 days. God said, you've got 40 days to repent. Only the sign of Jonah will be shown to you, and that's right here now. This eclipse is programmed at the time of creation, right? These 2 eclipses were programmed by God in creation at the time of creation, and it only unfolded now, at this very moment in our time. And then God arranged for certain people to build these cities exactly where that path of that eclipse was going to go. 7 and 7. 7 cities called Salem, 7 cities called Nineveh, and 7 years apart. Is God talking to us? Now, it also goes over a city called Cross, and there's the cross. Right in the center of the cross is a city called Rapture. Elijah was caught up in the whirlwind in Rapture. Enoch was raptured, and is still in heaven right now waiting to be one of the 2 prophets during the 7-year tribulation period. So God is giving us a message. We're talking about this message. What is God's message? Besides, the obvious thing is that he's coming very soon. I've got 40 days. We've got to repent and seek God like never before. He's coming very, very soon.
He is in fact coming very, very soon. There are many people around the world who think that this event will usher in the tribulation and the second coming of the Son of Man, as prophesied by Jesus Christ himself in Matthew 24, verse 29, where Jesus says the Son will be
water, or we're also made out of water. So 1 trillion of them going off at the same time could do a lot of healing. And I think they said the last time that they came up was in, do you have that thing that says when it came up? In 1808, I think. right at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
More than a trillion cicadas will emerge in the U.S. in 2024. This spring when the soil reaches 64 degrees. Two different broads of cicadas, one that lives on a 13-year cycle and the other that lives on a 17-year cycle, will emerge at the same time from underground in a rare synchronized event that last occurred in 1803. Thomas Jefferson was president.
Let's see. I forgot I did. I seen some circadians. I had.
At least the cicadas are awake. They know what's going on. Right. Yeah, so it's probably going to be something else. Sound, so.
Okay, something looked a little weird this morning in the sunrise. So I put my drone up to take a better look. Tell me if you think this is weird. Of course, I dropped the exposure. Why is there what looks to be two suns? And I moved it around to see if it's just some kind of lens refraction. Usually it moves around like it does over here on this side, but it's showing two. Why is that? It's April 7th. I'm in northern Indiana. And it sure looks like two light sources in the sky. Help me out here. I don't understand what's going on.
That's today, everybody. Crazy.
But clearly I moved the drone around to see if maybe it is just something with the lens. I adjust the brightness.
Yeah, before she died,
and it still
suns.
shows two.
She's seen that before. She way died.
Help me out.
All of us.
I'm hoping it's just like a camera issue, but it was shot on a DJI Mini 2. I don't know. There's a lot smarter people than I am. Tell me what this is.
Check this out, y'all. So my boy is coming out of the grass in Texas, right? And then he looks at the sun and he sees this. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see that? At first, he couldn't see it. He couldn't see it because the light was so blinding and so bright. And then once the camera was able to focus, he notices it. Y'all check it out.
Wow. Yeah, and look at this, man. I know I'm not tripping. Grand Rising, two suns. Grand Rising.
And then he was on FaceTime with his boy, and you can clearly see what's in the sky. Y'all check it out. Look at this. Look at this. What? Why is there three suns out there, y'all? Look at that. And that is not a lens flare. He told me that's not a lens flare. That was literally another sun out there. But y'all see that?
There was rumors of a 10th plane. Claimed that it was hard to see by some of even the best telescopes they had because of the black mass that this object retained. They named this object Planet X. Some of us even learned about it in school. I'll show you a study here of 1864 about the study of El Nino. See, there were always theories being amassed. You may have to go back and pause some of this and read more theories they came up with, the more lies they also came up with to cover up the truth. They knew eventually a time would come where the people would wake up and start figuring this out. By then, they knew they would be in their bunkers. Once again, as you can see in the background, I'm showing you how they played around with the whole climate change. Global house effect, greenhouse warming. For years, man, we heard about that. People in the 70s, 60s, 50s, babies in the 80s, you hear me? Man, it's been going on a long time. El Nino even had a twin called El Nina. We will probably publish an article on that later on. They knew the black sun was coming in. They just had to have a cover story for why the weather changed so rapidly. Don't believe me? Just peep how many celebrity issues came up and so many people are involved and indulged in it like it's their personal life. The whole time Taiwan has had a massive earthquake. Then we had an earthquake in New York and New Jersey. They've been following these eclipses for a long time. They've been in fear of something for a long time. They've been watching it for a long time. They was hoping they could possibly change the outcome. They tried once in 2012. They're going to try again in this year, 2024, with CERN. This is spiritual warfare on the masses. Most of the masses are still stuck under the spell. It will eventually too wake up and look around and see the truth. Plane of existence as we know it now will soon change. Not just geologically or physically, also mentally. Keep God first.
Yo, I don't know what's going on, but look, it's just some are live. That one just flew up to the window, but he's not even moving. But there's just a sidewalk full of dead freaking birds. I don't know what's going on, but I'm about to get the hell out of here.
Oh, shoot.
I can't make this shit up. I just get home and it is at least. I got my bag.
Marjorie, appreciate you.
I heard a lot of birds too today when I came. Yeah.
Oh, it's 200 geese at my house. Oh, it's 400. It's 400. It's 400.
I like that.
The whole flock. Is this not the whole flock? The whole
I ain't hear.
Waka flocka. It's never been this many. It's never been this many. Goodness gracious. 400. Yeah, they finna dip or something. Look at this. This is about 600 geese outside my backyard. What the fuck is going on?
Appreciate you.
Did you know that Illinois also happened to find a predicted demon? That is right. They found a demon particle. 67 years ago, and we know they love their numerology. 6 + 7 is 13. But 67 years ago, a physicist, David Pines, out of nowhere in 1956, said there's a particle that exists that is massless and does not interact with light. That this particle absolutely opposes light. And once this particle is found, because it will be found, it will change our understanding of physics. Well, David Pine's prediction was not wrong, because 67 years later, in 2023, scientists in Illinois at the University of Urbana-Champaign have found evidence of this demonic particle, this demon particle. Matter of fact, these same scientists state that they have successfully summoned the demon in Illinois. They found actual evidence of a demon particle inside metal.
The goddess of destruction.
So this is CERN at daytime. Hello, let's go. If you go there to CERN building 41, go over to this place here. Go on this point here. Click to this point. Now here we go. And then just turn over. You'll see the Shiva statue, the goddess of destruction, right here at CERN. Isn't it a little bit weird? And if you want to know what they are doing at night, then you just need to take a look at my video, one below this video. Take a look at the other video, below this one, just in front of the statue. What's going on at CERN? Take a look what's going to happen. This is the statue of Shiva. Look at those people. Their clothes just looking like monks, right? It's just bizarre. And this happened at CERN, the Large Hadron Collider. When you take a look at this, think about why would you put a Shiva It's the goddess of destruction. Why put this in a scientific institution? Now, there she is. Do you see this woman? Do you see this woman over there? Just in front of the statue. She's lying down.
Okay, y'all. So I was going down the rabbit hole just a little bit more.
Pay attention.
My mind is blown. Like, my mind is fried. Matter of fact, play the clip. You ain't got to believe me. Play the clip.
March 16th, 2018. The U.S. government's Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, commonly known as DARPA, announces a bold initiative to develop what they call next-generation non-surgical neurotechnology. It is designed to allow the human brain to directly interface with machines.
Okay, so now, as another reminder, we're about to play that clip that Sloan Bella said what she said. Play the clip.
What I'm being told about Jay-Z is that he has investments in all kinds of mind technology, aka Elon Musk. But I'm not sure it's through Elon Musk. It's in other countries, other kinds of capital venture towards the controlling of the human mindset. He has allowed portions of what he chooses to do in his life into a consciousness center where people can tap into being him. So it's almost a robotic stance where you yourself can put the goggles on and learn how to.
YouTube pays creators more than any other social media platform, more than TikTok, more than Twitch, more than Twitter, more than Facebook, more.
Active, but in a public forum.
So I was just sitting here thinking to myself, and I said, Sel,
Hey, Sylvia.
I just so happen to wonder, when did Jay-Z go get his locks? Now, I feel like y'all gonna call me a lie, but I honestly feel like there's nothing in life that is a coincidence. Nothing happens just because it's supposed to happen or happens on accident. Everything that happens is like cause and effect. Now, like I said, because we just saw that DARPA did their first technology research.
You want a reading, Sylvia? I was on here a half an hour earlier, and I was doing readings. Man, I can do it now while I'm on here with you. So you want to send something to Cash App or PayPal, and I go ahead and do yours while I'm on here. I can stop this. I'm looking at TikTok. We're looking at TikTok videos. Let me get your birthday. Sylvia. Okay, 8/28/1999. Okay, all right. So do you want to so you gonna send it to Cash App or PayPal? Either one. It's both of them is up there. Just let me know which one you're gonna send it to. And so I don't know. You tell me what you want. I give you 2 for 1. You want your monthly, your weekly, your yearly. Tell me what you want. Or you and your guy. The Cash App is right there. MA. You see it? Oh, I guess Sylvia left. Oh, I think Sylvia left. I guess Sylvia left. Yeah, Sylvia, I'm doing readings. Yeah, Sylvia, go ahead. You want a reading? I'm doing a reading. The Cash App or PayPal, either one. But if you don't want me to do the reading, then I'll go back to this. But yeah, I'm doing a reading. That's why I stopped the video. I stopped it for you, Sylvia, because I got your birthday right here, 8/28/99. I got your birthday, 24 Virgo. I got you. So I'm gonna give you 2 readings in one. So if you want whatever you put in, the Cash App or PayPal, Whichever you put in, I'm gonna give you 2 readings in one. So go ahead, whichever one you send it in, I'll go ahead and do 2 readings for you at one, or you and your guy, whichever one, because I think I got your guy in here too. So that's the Cash App and PayPal right there. Both of them is the same. Oh, yeah, it's right there. You see them? There you. The Cash App and the PayPal. So what readings you want, Sylvia? Okay, well, I'm gonna get finished playing this. Let me know if you want a reading. Go ahead and let me know, Sylvia.
March.
The verge of being a reality that is being fielded is we could have a sensor maybe on the surface of our head, or maybe implanted somewhere in our body, in our brain, or something that allows us to interact directly with our communications gear, our processing gear, our weapon systems, and so on. Now imagine we take that technology and we can control robots at a distance with it. Even fly drones. You put this sensor on and you think the right way, and you can increase the speed of the fan by thinking and controlling that thought with direct to mind or mind machine interfacing. With that type of capability, you could control all sorts of buttons and mechanisms in equipment.
Jay-Z began to grow his freeform locks in 2018. Let me find out he done went and got locks because he got screws on the top of his head. Now, y'all remember, I'm going to bring back this clip, and this is going to be the end of the video. I'm going to bring back this clip as a reminder of something else we discovered.
Hell nah.
Like their counterparts at the CIA, DARPA-funded researchers have spent decades investigating how the human mind can be altered. In 1965, DARPA launched Project Pandora, which studied the possibility of using microwave radiation to control human behavior. The project reportedly ended in 1969, but DARPA's investigation of how machines can affect and possibly control the brain continues to this day.
What was that?
Beyonce.
Hold on. Not just the mind control. Check this out. What does that resemble? What we just seen in front of CERN too as well.
Shiva.
But look, we're gonna keep building. We're gonna keep building. This shit is crazy. You know, we just watching, we just having fun.
Beyonce
like
is seen
Shiva,
here
right?
posing next to 4 different color horses, and at first glance, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong, right? That is until you open your Bible. The final book of the Bible is the book of Revelations, and in it holds prophecy of the coming of Jesus Christ. The Bible teaches that just before the coming of Jesus Christ, he'll be preceded by 4 horsemen who will come and signify the end of the world and judgment upon all people. So let's see exactly what the Bible says about these 4 horsemen. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a belt, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And when he had opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd beast say,
Somebody said needs more arms. Come on now, bro. It's about symbolism. Stop the cap, bro. Like, you seen it. Stop playing. Standing in front of a Stargate. Stop it. It said it in the prompter leading up to it.
Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hands. And I looked, and behold, a
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical.
Behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with the hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
All of the horses
in the club.
Kim, appreciate you. All the coincidence though, right? Crazy. Seems like they know something we don't know, right? Yeah, like a certain club or something that we ain't get invited to. Even got Homer,
Have
man.
you all seen this? They're calling for cicada geddon after the eclipse. As many as 100 trillion periodical.
Right, you guys, I'm gonna need you to share this. TikTok's trying to take me down, and I'm trying to save lives. Please pay attention and turn your phones to the left. If you notice, in the top left corner, we have the total eclipse from 2017. And if you look at the path starts on the San Andreas Fault.
Now, really pay attention. Like, is this such a coincidence? I really want to. I want y'all to answer in the comments because I really want to see what y'all got to say about this. You see the lines and where it's going, and you can clearly see the future map that they have too as well that I've been showing y'all for a while now. You see where the water is at. You see where the fault lines are at. Is the math in that? Is it just a coincidence? That shit's crazy. Now, if you don't believe this, to each his own, because natural events will happen in the world. And I mean, if you go out a natural way, I guess it's cool because what I know about life, we're energy beings. This ain't gonna be your last time. No need to be afraid. You'll come back something else, and we'll be upgraded to something else by the time your ass get back here. But that shit's wild. And I know me, I'm not going out with no big ass wave coming in or no shit like that. Like I'm cool on all of that smoke. If I want to go out a different way, not that way. That is, that's just, bro. That's I think for.
The comment section open. I'm waiting. I love this. Fear-mongering.
Okay, you guys, I need you to listen to this video because this is exactly what I've been talking about. I've even been saying this on my live. People are starting to feel booms and hearing rumbles around the world. I've even felt this in Florida yesterday myself and then a few months ago. It first starts out as a loud rumble and then it shakes. You don't know if it's coming from the ground or from the sky, and then it gets a little bit more faint. Has anybody experienced this in Florida? But check this out, y'all.
Day 3 of the insanely heavy booms that shake everything. I live in north central Arkansas, about an hour and 20 minutes south of the Missouri border. Please excuse your girl's rough appearance because I'm out here working with the birds. But there are these incredibly heavy booms, I think is the best way to describe it. It sounds like it's muffled. It's not coming from up top. It literally sounds like it's underground and it shakes everything. I can feel my feet shaking underneath me. The military isn't really taking any credit for this. There are a lot of people that are saying they're sonic booms, but y'all, I've experienced them. These are not sonic booms. Of course, why would the military tell us the truth anyway, but I digress. So I want to know, how far out are you guys hearing and feeling these? So something is just really strange because they do their training all the time down on the White River, but this has never happened. Not since I've been here. Let me say that. We've been here 2 years, and it's not a secret. Everybody in town is talking about it. So
Now, I remember I made a video about this in Florida. Putnam County experience was called a sonic boom, and it was destroying people's houses. I'm literally less than an hour from Putnam County, and I told you guys, I felt this, and it wasn't no sonic boom. It was something rumbling.
sounds like a jet that's super loud.
You guys hear that? It's like something scraping the top of the sky, the top of the firmament, like scraping it.
Hey, I've been hearing them out here too in AZ. Real talk. Like for the past like 4 days, I've been hearing them. I thought it was some vehicles at first. I don't automatically jump to stuff like that. Like, oh, it could be a natural something more
Well, if you haven't had
realistic.
them
And
down
then
here, you
you
in
start to feel
Texas.
like,
You in
damn, this shit's
Texas.
happening more and more, and it sounds like a bomb is going off. We don't have a base over here that drops bombs and stuff like that.
You in Texas.
And it's been real weird, yo. I'm telling you. Along with them launching the damn missiles.
Yeah,
They
you
trying
in
to get out
Texas.
this joint. That nigga Elon is like, yo, son,
So I just heard this on the 99.5 The
I gotta
Wolf
get the fuck.
or 97.5 The Wolf, whatever the Wolf channel's on. They're asking people in Dallas to turn off their lights between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. Why would they be asking that? And they come out and said that a lot of the businesses will be turning down their lights, and it's got to do with the migration of the birds. Huh? Since when do we start turning off our lights for some migration of the birds?
We got back to the birds.
They're saying the birds can't find their way to their destination.
All coming full circle, right?
Find that a little ironic. They said Reunion Tower would be lowering their lights. The big old Reunion Tower in Dallas. They're going to be lowering their lights for the next month for the migration of these birds. We ain't never done this in history, ever. Why all of a sudden they want everybody to turn their lights off or keep their lights off for the birds to be able to see the stars? What?
No, that ain't for no
I
birds.
think there's something better going on. I think this is some kind of a secret operation. Maybe Operation Lights Out. And they're asking to do this for the whole month, for the whole next month. Either this month, the rest of this month, or starting next month. Kind of ironic, don't you think? They're asking everybody in Dallas to turn off their lights between 9 and 6.
Dallas.
9 p.m. to 6 o'clock in the morning.
And that's not just because it's going to be an influx of people trying to come and see the solar eclipse either. To me, I'm speculating. I don't think that's what that is. Like there is something else going on with that. Maybe they're upgrading the power grid or something like that. Because, they're trying to be independent and shit. Miss Independent out there in Texas. So, I mean, it might be that too. But all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Like, I bet. But you see how I got y'all. Look, y'all seen the birds in the beginning. You was trying to understand what was going on with them and stuff like that. Now you got their government telling them that, the birds can't find their way. Turn off your lights, niggas. Like, that shit crazy, ain't it? I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments.
A little strange about that. I don't think that's got anything to do with migration of the.
This is a DD214. If you want to see how it turned this form into $30,000 in cash.
Birds. I really don't. What do y'all think?
Able to eclipse is a miracle.
The sun is 400 times further.
This speaking.
2 of them occurred during the Revolutionary. 3 of them occurred during the Civil.
1871.
2 of them occurred during the Vietnam, of those eight, only one, which 7 years ago, it only crossed the United States and no other country.
Exodus 4 and 8. Remember, April 8th. If they do not believe the first sign, which was on August 21st, 2017, they will believe the second sign.
That said, why has Homeland Security been preparing to hijack this biblical event?
The sheriff called me yesterday, and after he got done telling me everything inside this meeting that was happening, I pretty much was nerve rattled after what I
was. An event like this where a lot of people are gathered to do some type of terror event.
The director of the Lake County Emergency Management Agency told me they've been preparing for the solar eclipse now for about 2 years.
They've been preparing for this for 2 years.
NASA clearly said there were going to be an ellipse during the eclipse. Do you know what an ellipse is? If you don't, listen, this should be the most shared video I ever put out. I am going to show you why you do not want to be in the path of totality during this eclipse. And it is because of an ellipse. I can't believe they're getting ready to do this to us. If you ever had a kidney stone too large to be passed, they use a lithotriptych, which is focused energy of an ellipse. Same concept. And this breaks down stones. So what do you think is going to happen when they fire up something as powerful as CERN from one side of the world to the other, focusing on the path of totality? This next video should give you a clue of what's going on.
Isn't this shape interesting? Each of these two special points of the ellipse is referred to as focus. And together, they're called the foci of the ellipse. Wait, there's more. Elliptical shapes even play a role in a medical device called the lithotriptych.
Pay attention to the lithotriptych.
Due to its reflective property, it's used to break the kidney stones. High-frequency shock waves are generated at one focus of the elliptical-shaped reflector, which gets concentrated at another focus point where the kidney stones are positioned. And this helps in breaking the kidney stones.
Come back and please check this video out. I just shortened it for sakes of my video. NASA did a press conference. There will be an ellipse with the eclipse, and they are firing up CERN. And we also know that this goes hand in hand with HAARP. So you have a focal point here, a focal point there, and this only works if there is a domed roof. Let that sink in, people. Now, back to business. Now, I've had kidney stones, and I've also had one of my kidney stones broken down with lithotripsy, which means that they can focus frequency to a specific spot to break things up. I showed you all the path of totality, and I showed you that there would be a new river carved from Louisiana all the way up through New York along the path of totality. And they are going to use an ellipse to accomplish this. Please do not, I repeat, do not be in the total path of totality. Do not. I don't care. Call it fear mongering. Get the fuck away.
Do you guys see this right now? Y'all see the plasma, the lightning that's going on right now? You will not believe where this is at. Wow, y'all see that?
Like, I ain't one of those. I put that video in there too to let y'all know. Like, look, we all can have difference of opinions and stuff like that. I'm not mad at for people getting on the internet speaking whatever they feel and their theories or whatever. It's fine. You know, we got to get to that place in the world where we're not just jumping on everybody's head trying to cut their heads because they said something that's different in our ideology and what we believe in, stuff like that. Like I tell y'all on here, this is a safe space for us. This is people from different walks of life, every shape, size, color, everything, different religions, all of that. But one thing, when we get on here, man, we all one. We're not thinking, oh, I'm gonna disrespect your religion, or I'm gonna disrespect you because you believe this. At the end of the day, most of us are speaking about the same shit anyway. We're just saying different things to say the same thing. That's all we're doing. But at the end of the day, man, we got that out the way. I don't agree with him. I was gonna let y'all know that. I don't agree with that. You feel me? I just don't. Yeah, let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments. It's a cool little theory, but I ain't with that one.
This is in Chicago, Illinois, at this place called Fermilab. Fermilab, if you have never heard of it, this is a mini CERN. The layout is just like CERN. So this is the layout for Fermilab in Chicago, Illinois. And this right here is the layout for CERN in Switzerland, you guys. Y'all see? Chicago, and then this is Switzerland. So the CERN in Chicago, Illinois just turned on their Large Hadron Collider as well. And this is what's going on over there. Y'all check it out.
So this is going to be coming from the conspiracy theorist inside me right now, Max. Right where all that lightning's happening over there? It's happening right over Fermilab right now. Which is basically the miniature version of CERN, which I don't know how many times you've probably heard some crazy shit about CERN on the internet. But yeah, that's our mini one where they...
Look at that, like that plasma going crazy, y'all. You see what's going on? Stranger things. Yeah, I didn't even know about Fermilab. I didn't even know that we had a mini CERN in Chicago, Illinois. Were you guys aware of this?
Space Force put out another cryptic message. So you know how on Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated, if you zoom in and click on that little ET, it'll take you straight to the UAP reports, right? Unidentified aerial phenomenon. Well, there's always been this white rabbit link at the bottom of the page that takes you to a cryptic message. Check it out when you click this.
Winds in the east, mist coming in. Like something is brewing, about to begin. Can't put me finger on what lies in store. I feel what's to happen. All happened before.
In case you don't know who Ingersoll Lockwood is, he's the author of those two books.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now available on StreamYard. Have you ever done a recording where your guest just had terrible internet issues? They were blurry, they were freezing, you could almost hardly hear them. Well, with local recordings from StreamYard, you'll be able to download a perfect quality video from your guest after the show. This means that no matter what you or your guest's internet
Baron Trump's underground journey and the last president that freakily go along with President Trump. And we know President Trump declared Space Force the 6th military branch. And Wernher von Braun warned of a false flag alien invasion, and how we would know it's coming is when they weaponized space. Ingersoll Lockwood isn't the only person who scripts the future in books, because we have Wernher von Braun's Project Mars, which the main character in this book who colonizes Mars is a character named Elon. Of course, you know Wernher von Braun's headstone has Psalms 19:1 on it, which says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the dome of the sky speaks the work of his hands." And Elon Musk is like, "Hey, I can't get through the firmament. Does anyone want to buy SpaceX?" And he posted this saying, "As close as you can get to space while being in a glass dome." But could he be talking about the firmament? My honest opinion is history does repeat itself, and I think that Elon is the new character that Wernher von Braun once was. And look at their affiliates. Look who all Space Force and Ingersoll Lockwood is affiliated with. Wow. Ingersoll Lockwood Incorporated and Space Force have been putting cryptic messages in for the last year, showing us that something's coming. But now that the eclipse is on the way, I mean, could it have something to do with it? I don't know.
They shot another one. Hey, once again, it's from my balcony. Look, speaking of Elon, look, this is another one of his SpaceX rockets right here in front of my crib. You feel me? They shot another one. You can hear my voice. That's me. Yeah.
Going in the same direction.
Once again,
They trying to get up out of here.
like last night.
Everything they done did wrong, they trying to get up out of here.
And look, it's dark. It's nighttime, but it turned the whole sky blue.
The main.
And you know something else that's crazy about that is when the sky actually turned back dark, right? And this is how I think, look, nigga, it's hitting the firmament. It's sliding against it. They're trying to crack it somehow. But because it was pitch black again, and what you can see from where it went through, it was like a light was shining through. So you seen that cloud in which it traveled through, right? That right there was glowing as if the sky on the other side was still blue, but the rest of the sky was dark. It's crazy. Appreciate you, Lisa. That's what's crazy to me. Like let me know, like how y'all feel about that. Have you ever seen it in person? It does look like that. It's a fact. I'm here. I'm seeing these things in person.
The reason they started to race the space is because they.
But what did they say? What did the scientists say when they had the Project Fishbowl? What did they say? They said that the firmament regenerates itself. So after they was trying to crack it, it'd just seal itself back up. And that's what it looked like it did, but it took it a little bit of time. It took it like a couple hours and for it to go back dark. And it wasn't just like, oh, this is smoke, because it didn't move. The little path that it traveled, it didn't move. That usually if it's a smoke cloud or something, it's moving or whatever with the wind up there. It's very windy out here. It didn't move. It didn't go nowhere. It just dissipated. It disappeared. It took like a couple hours. But that light was blue. The rest of the sky was black. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, shit's crazy.
Started to see objects over time that kept reappearing, disappearing, materializing, dematerializing. So they figured, hey, maybe there's a way out of here. Maybe we can escape too. So they came up with a plan. They devised that plan. And sadly to say, they found out the hard way. They started looking at the UFOs going in the water because they seen the waters above. So they said, oh, I can't see a gate. I can't see a doorway to get out. Let's go in the water. Providing is something. That's just a story of one of many. But anyways, man, they started going up underwater. And they started finding chambers. Now where these chambers lead to, they don't know. Now, they don't tell you that they can't go even deeper as the Titanic. But they were able to find chambers that were closer to the surface. And they also found caverns where a possibility of the Plesiosaurus Nessie.
Hey, stop spamming my chat, man. I kick you in the forehead. Like, stop playing with me, man. Like, I'll put you in timeout, man. Hey, Lanika, I'm call security on your ass.
Was hiding. Nah, that's crazy, right? There's a lot of information out here that we holding on to. We're gonna release a lot more. Maybe I might drop documents next. I don't know. I got a lot to drop though, man. Just showing you the word is much more than they told you. Truth is way stranger than fiction, folks. It's time for you to open them eyes. Wipe that mud in the mirror. Hey man, y'all keep God first, man. Stay 10 toes down. You know we'll be back again. Love y'all, man. Peace. We all we got.
He says, quote, something may come through dimensional doors at the Hadron Collider, and out of this door might come something trying to basically find out how to go back in time. They're trying to bend time and figure out how the universe started. The problem with that is you can create a miniature black hole. They don't know what could happen if that happens. They also don't know what's going to come through. So that's happening on April 8th.
We seen what the what a black hole would do. What they show on The Simpsons, right? They create that black hole and it sucked everything up.
Okay, I'm going to share my camera again.
Side of their very public relationship and their working relationship in the music industry that dates back to the early 2000s.
And when we talk about these other lawsuits, how many more are we talking about? And are the allegations consistent across all of those cases?
So as of this date, there have been 5 civil suits filed against Diddy. And the latest one, again, as of this date, is filed by Lil Rod, aka Rodney Jones, who is a music producer who worked for Diddy between 2022 and 2023. And Jones is alleging a lot of the same behaviors and indiscretions that Cassie and other people have claimed that the music
This stuff
mogul
is crazy.
was doing all of this time. Things like using people on his staff for drug mules, things like pushing drugs onto multiple people on his team, pushing people onto his team. Lil Rod accuses Diddy of groping him, accuses Diddy of having people on his staff proposition and sexually assault him, and he's accusing him of propositioning sex workers all throughout the United States to come to Diddy and have alleged freak-offs.
As you mentioned, Sean Combs denies all of the allegations. Have we seen any kind of a public response from him, though, online or in any other form to these accusations?
It's been a lot of sidestepping, I would say, publicly from Diddy. He broke his silence on social media recently by posting a lot of his children for Easter Sunday. He's been very jovial, I would say, publicly facing, but Diddy's legal team says they vehemently deny all of these claims and that the Homeland Security raids specifically were a gross misuse of military level force.
Sydney, I think it's fair to say it doesn't get bigger than Diddy in the music world. He works and moves in rarefied circles of entertainment and celebrity. Have any of these
A lot of people saying though that this is a cover up for other people that he got film on. I don't know.
allegations had an impact on those relationships, business or personal?
Definitely. I mean, the fallout from these allegations so far has definitely been a blow to Diddy's business and his public reputation. So, since these allegations started to come out, he has stepped down as chairman of Revolt TV, Revolt Entertainment, his news media channel. He's also sold off all of his shares of that. And he's parted ways with the liquor company that used to distribute a lot of his name brand liquors and collaborations. And there have been a lot of people in the hip hop space who have kind of just used this as a moment to say that all of these indiscretions that he's being accused of are open secrets that have been proliferated in the music industry over the years. But what that fails to interrogate is how they've been able to operate as open secrets without anybody calling him out for fear of losing their proximity, their business, their just access to his celebrity.
What about that allegation of this being an open secret for so long? I mean, when you and I spoke at the end of 2023 after the Ventura lawsuit, we talked about whether this was some larger moment of reckoning in the industry. And back then you said it was too early to tell. But what do you make of that now?
Now, I would say, I think as more time has passed and more suits have been carried out, there are many more people in positions of power who are publicly distancing themselves from him. And, you know, in the hip hop space, it's about money, power, and respect. I would definitely say the fallout is happening.
That is Sydney Madden, music reporter for NPR and co-host of the podcast Louder Than a Riot. Sydney, thank you.
Thank you.
Diddy allegedly held freak-out parties with underage girls and sex workers and had hidden cameras in every room of his house. Producer Lil Rod claims in a bombshell lawsuit he was drugged and woke up naked in bed with Diddy and 2 sex workers, and claims to have hours of video evidence documenting Diddy's serious illegal activity. Rod also alleged that Diddy possessed compromising footage of every person that attended, including Hollywood's biggest names and even royalty.
See?
He says the freak-out parties were career opportunities for young upcoming artists, and Diddy had music execs financially backing them.
Well done, Viv. You got the presents, the balloons, and the raptor cake. Now, how about something to put a smile on your face? Aspen Dental provides complete, affordable care with dentists and labs in one place, plus $19 exams and x-rays for new patients without insurance, and 20% off treatment plans for everyone. Quality care at a price worth celebrating. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
Google Fi Wireless has flexible phone plans to any budget.
He might be a whole lot of fruity too. But Cassie would know that just like Kim knew that.
So Justin Bieber has recently at all.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number.
They live this weird rock and roll lifestyle where they touchy-feely with each other.
In a recently surfaced clip, Diddy is seen talking to a visibly nervous Justin Bieber, who appears to be around 16 years old. Diddy is questioning why Bieber has been distant, and this clip has gained attention again after raids were conducted on Diddy's homes.
Diddy's Los Angeles and Miami mansions raided by SWAT teams.
Boy, this is
Diddy, whose real name is Sean Combs, is a well-known rapper, label owner, and entrepreneur. His properties in Los Angeles and Miami were raided by Homeland Security this week.
This is going to be an interesting year right here.
Film talking about just that. Take a listen.
When you think you'll have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would I?
I'm asking you.
I want to have kids. I don't see any benefit.
For giving somebody life?
You have a kid and your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay.
All right. Well, I think you can say at least Amani Wortham is honest. She's admitting to the fact that she is selfish and she wants her life to be about her. Now, if you look at the comments under this post, people are applauding her. They're saying, yay, absolutely, good for you. And by the way, I don't want to say to some woman who is admittedly selfish, that she should have children, even though obviously I believe the gentleman is right. I believe that having children is our divine purpose as women. I don't think there's anything that you can get from life that is not going to bring you more satisfaction and completion than having a child. But again, not going to encourage someone like her to have children. But that's not all Amani has to say. She also holds a very derogatory view of men. Take a listen.
Okay.
What do you look for in a man?
I don't look for anything in a man. I don't look for a man.
I mean, when you meet a man, you talk to him.
I don't look for nothing in a man.
So what's happening here? Now it sounds like it's not only children that she doesn't want, but she doesn't even want to have a meaningful relationship. She holds a bad view of men altogether. We've seen this before. Me and Matt Walsh last week, obviously I read him Megan Fox's poem book, another person who I think would qualify as a millennial. And she had that poem, just 7 lines of saying, I hate men, I hate men, I hate men, I hate men. That's the attitude that Amani is expressing in this podcast as well. And it gets worse. Now, just to give you a little bit of background before you see this next clip, rather notoriously, the rapper Cardi B went on an Instagram live and was talking about what she did before she became famous. She used to be a stripper, that's well known, but she also talked about how she would take men home from the strip club and she would drug them and rob them. It's amazing. She admitted to committing the crime of drugging men and then robbing them while they were asleep, taking their wallets, and yet she's still been given tons of awards. Obviously not a very defensible thing for any woman to do, whether you're a stripper or not. But Amani defends her actions, and I want you to take a close listen to why she defends them.
How do you feel about Cardi B?
What about her?
About Cardi B admitting that she
Good for her.
used to
F*** 'em.
wait, no, that she used
What?
to
Good for her.
drug and
F*** 'em.
men.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Good for her. Who gives a f***? They got robbed. They can get that back. They had all the money to buy this. They can buy it again. We're not even
What?
going to start comparing getting drugged and robbed for some watches or some money
What
to
you
getting
mean?
sexually
What you mean?
assaulted. I'm never going to be like, oh, we should be talking about Cardi B when it talks about like all the sexual assault going on. She didn't sexually assault them.
Bro, what?
Winter is coming, and I want you to know that when it comes, I want you. If all you do is focus.
Puff Daddy to me is like a what's them dudes who run the 3-ring circus? That dude that come out and you know what I mean? Just ringmaster.
Some massive allegations might be coming soon involving Justin Bieber, P. Diddy, and Usher. Usher was discovered when he was 14 years old by P. Diddy. In an interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2012, Usher admitted that Puff Daddy had brought him to sex parties and exposed him to drugs when he signed to the record label.
It appears Ice Cube is once again stirring up controversy, dropping hints about potentially shady dealings involving Jay-Z and Diddy. Brace yourselves for what could be a bombshell revelation, as the tea he's supposedly brewing threatens to shake things up. With each passing day, it feels increasingly likely that Jay-Z is following a similar tumultuous path as Diddy, suggesting there's much more to uncover. According to Ice Cube, there's a complex web of shadows connecting Jay-Z and Diddy, delving into some rather grim affairs while mutually covering their tracks. Interestingly, Jay-Z only severed ties with Diddy at the 11th hour, suggesting he was keen on concealing his own involvement.
I guess he the ringmaster because, you know, he do it big and he always put on a show. So Puffy is the ringmaster.
Moreover, rumors are circulating that Diddy may have played a role in Justin Bieber's substance use issues. These rumors gain credibility when taking into account past allegations made by Cassie and Bieber's own statements regarding his fight against addiction, especially under the early pressures of stardom. Notably, Bieber's recovery and professional successes appear to align with his reduced association with Diddy, raising inquiries about Diddy's impact on Bieber's previous difficulties.
Record label. The cycle repeated when Puff Daddy found Justin Bieber around the same age as when he found Usher. According to Justin Bieber's own mother, Puff Daddy corrupted her son, pressuring him to go to these drug-fueled sex parties. This all becomes even more disturbing given the R. Kelly level allegations brought up against Sean Puffy Combs this past year.
Diddy's extravagant gifts to Bieber, such as a Ferrari and a mansion for his 18th birthday, have raised eyebrows, especially considering Diddy's previous financial controversies with other musicians. The situation becomes more intriguing as Diddy teases secret transactions with Bieber, opting to keep the specifics under wraps.
Other women and men all tell the same story of being drugged and SA'd by P. Diddy. P. Diddy allegedly admitted to murdering people to keep this all quiet.
On the other hand, with Diddy facing a barrage of legal battles, speculation arises whether Jay-Z might be next in the firing line for scrutiny. Yet, it prompts a moment of reflection. How did Jay-Z, of all people, become entangled with someone like Diddy, and what secrets could he be desperately guarding? Let's delve deeper into this enigma.
Thief is the worst thing. His hand should be chopped. Her hand should be chopped off. His or her hand should be. That's the way I feel about somebody taking something from somebody that ain't there. When you could go out and you could.
It appears that Jay-Z might be feeling the pressure, especially with Ice Cube allegedly revealing some rather dark details concerning the connection between him and Diddy. Rumors on the street
indicate that the information Ice Cube possesses could potentially deal a fatal blow to Jay-Z's career, possibly leading him straight into trouble.
There's talk suggesting that Ice Cube hasn't kept this tantalizing information to himself either. Whispers hint that he may have shared it with the authorities, aiming to bring both Jay and Diddy down. And let's not forget the recent spotlight on Jay-Z with all the scandals surrounding Diddy. People are now wondering if Jay might be the next one to face scrutiny.
After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, right? Jay-Z, over the course of his career, and I have to still say allegedly, has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know.
Storm Monroe, a well-connected insider, recently released a video shedding light on a potential storm brewing in Jay-Z's world.
Uh-oh.
According to Monroe, once the chaos surrounding Diddy subsides, Jay-Z might find himself embroiled in a similar legal battle.
This is crazy.
Behind the scenes, shadowy figures are allegedly orchestrating Diddy's downfall and could drag Jay-Z into the fray.
The Federal Reserve Bank of New York just issued
Not
a
yet.
digital
Not yet. Okay, we're gonna go see what else we got.
dollar. Effectively.
Bro, this whole 2024 is gonna be crazy, bro. This is, like they say, this is only the beginning.
Like, I paid for it. I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
And then you get caught in 4K wearing matching fits.
4K.
There's no way out of this one.
Come on, Freak Millie. I think I got a better chance of getting superpowers than you do at beating these allegations at this point. You could have just thrown the matching footy pajamas and went your way. Nobody would have bothered you. But it's like you trying to make like exclusive, deluxe, super complex, sophisticated arguments to explain why you inducted into the Freako charges, bro. You tried to say it was AI, Chat GPT that made up a fake lawsuit. Then why is it going to court? Why is it going to court, Freak Millie? Answer the question.
Freak Millie.
You think the robot got a lawyer, bro? It's you, Freak Millie. It's you.
Yo, they savage.
5 days left. And as we gotten closer, the number one question is, what the hell is CERN trying to do? I know a lot of y'all got the attention span of a squirrel, but you got to hear this about CERN. So if you got to, just hold the screen down and it'll go twice as fast, but you can still hear everything clear.
There is something more supernatural on the drawing board at CERN than what is being admitted. Even Adam Barker of Tech Bubble wrote of CERN a while back that with the LHC, CERN are expecting to find other dimensions and open portals to these dimensions. If you have the image of Stargate in your head right now, you're spot on. That's what he said.
That'll be crazy.
That's what the portal looks like.
Opening up.
And then he went on to draw parallels to the biblical story of Jacob's ladder. Perhaps you remember the dream that says, behold, there was a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. Then Jacob wakes up from his sleep and he says, surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was afraid. And he says, how awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven, Genesis 28. Now this ladder, described in the first book of the Bible, describes something like a portal from heaven to earth through which God's angels, interdimensional and spiritual beings from another reality, were traveling. When Jacob wakes up, he refers to the location as a gate, much like today's trendy terms, gateway or Stargate. One of CERN's goals is to recreate Jacob's ladder, according to Mark.
Why?
And to reopen a portal. Now, Sergio Bertolucci, who is the official director for research and scientific computing at CERN, he was asked a while back about this extra-dimensional doorway by The Register, which is a London and New York operated science and technology journal. And he didn't hesitate with an enlightening response. He said, yes, out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it.
What?
Now, prophecy in numerous parts of the Bible refer to a coming day when portals will be opened and spiritual entities are going to pass through and come to the earth. Now, if that's true, and if those verses are accepted for their literal meaning and not written off as some kind of poetic allegory, as some scholars have claimed, then the idea of CERN playing with gateways is a major concern.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
And if, as CERN claims, they're only out to explore space-time matter particles and the origin of our known universe and planets from exclusively a scientific or Darwinian-related perspective, their agenda is unrelated to Bible prophecy entirely, then what is it with all this mystic themselves with? Wouldn't it be more appropriate for them just to proudly display a polished statue of a particle or some artist depiction of the Big Bang instead of the statue of Shiva? For those who have not yet heard about this controversial piece of art that CERN proudly exhibits between buildings 39 and 40 near the main building of their operation, it stands as really the most visible and celebrated mystery behind their work, Shiva. This is the Hindu god of destruction.
Destruction.
Additionally, and perhaps even more important, there's a significant section of CERN that is built upon the Saint Genus Poili, which is a commune in Ain, a department of France. In Roman times, the Saint Genus Poili was called Apaliacum, but the town and a temple were dedicated there in ancient times to Apollyon, the destroyer, the Shiva Horus, if you will. Apollyon is also the angel of the bottomless pit, referred to in Revelation 9:11.
What?
And then there is a connection between CERN and the Gothard-based tunnel, the GBT rig, to unveil what was beneath the earth, a great machine formed from human arms that rotated and churned into various shapes and design, many of which resembled the Large Hadron Collider at CERN. Once this opening was achieved, the miners stripped off their orange jumpsuit attire and took up arms. That is, they used staves to perform a dance routine that looked like warfare. It was this forensic dance that aroused a giant. So clearly, the endeavor connected to CERN is far more than Switzerland's braggadocio about an engineering feat. The connection between CERN and ritualistic summoning of a sleeping giant, the horned god of Cernunnos or even Melkart, both are types of the rising dying god. And Melkart slept for half the year, which may be why Elijah told the priests of Baal to call louder because he might be sleeping. Of course, I can only speculate, but I note the connection between Nimrod, Apollo, and Abaddon, Apollyon at CERN, and the history of the region are all highly curious. Apollo was worshipped by the Romans of that area, as well as the Greeks and in central France. Apollo was equated with the Celtic god Atep Omerus. These two characters were combined to create Apollo Atep Omerus, which can be translated as great horseman or possessing a great horse. In the Celtic belief, horses were closely related to the sun. The interesting thing to note is the connection between this idea of Apollo being associated with horses in France, where part of the LHC and CERN resides, and what the book of Revelation states about Abaddon, where it says, "And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon." End quote. I also
Switch to our most affordable monthly unlimited from.
I also note that Revelation chapter 9, after describing how these devil worshippers will be judged during the Great Tribulation period, it ends in verse 21 saying, "Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries," which is the Greek pharmakia, "nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts." Now, pharmakia is the word that describes the ancient occultic effort to use mind-expanding drugs during rituals in order to open a doorway for making contact with unseen supernatural entities.
Okay.
So, given these descriptions, is it possible that CERN will have something to do with the opening of the bottomless pit described in Revelation 9?
Well, this CERN stuff is different.
Oh my God, you guys. What the hell is going on that all of these places are declaring states of emergency for an upcoming event, the solar eclipse on the 8th of April? When in the history of our lives have they called a state of emergency for an eclipse? It's not just happening in Niagara Falls, it's also happening in Texas, Indiana, all over the place. All over the place. And not only that, you've got to listen to this guy. Okay, this is Indiana. And now you can listen to this guy.
Niagara Falls has declared a state of emergency. But get this, it's for something that's going to happen in the future. In one of the strangest stories I've heard in a while, the Niagara region announced Friday that they'll be declaring a state of emergency to accommodate an upcoming once-in-a-lifetime event. A solar eclipse that's set to take place on April 8th. But it gets even stranger. At the exact same time as the eclipse, NASA will be firing 3 rockets into the moon's shadow, and the CERN particle accelerator will be firing up for the first time in 2 years to search for invisible matter that secretly powers our universe. Am I the only one weirded out by this?
This is crazy, bro.
What the F is happening, you guys? They have CERN, they have NASA, they have all of these things happening. They're not telling us anything. People are disappearing, going on vacation, getting cancer, disappearing. All of these famous people are no longer around, and now we have all this information just for an upcoming solar eclipse. We've had these before, and this type of thing has never happened. Oh my God, what do you think? Let's discuss this. Yeah, TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only, so don't bust me again.
Drop your comments.
Last night I had a vision of where I saw demons. I saw the demons cheering. I saw a swarm of demons about a mile long, even further as the eye could see, man. Crowds and crowds and swarms of demons cheering. And off in the distance, I saw something they were carrying. These demons were cheering, and they were carrying a giant casket above their head, you know. This casket, I still don't know who this is because we're not allowed to see. But I saw the demons cheering, y'all. And they were toting this casket. Eloy, my God. I saw the demons toting this casket above their head. And they were cheering.
And what else?
This casket was the beast inside of this casket. These demons were pushing this casket, toting it head to head, passing it along. Up forward, I looked up and I saw a portal, which to me appears to be CERN. Okay, that's the closest thing I can think of. Looked like sixes swirling. Portal was opening. I saw 18 on it. The 18 started spinning so fast that the 8 turned into infinity, and the line of the 1 turned into a circle around the 8. As this portal was opening, I saw the demons cheering, toting their king up into our world. Y'all understand what I'm telling y'all? At the same time, I saw the angels. Yeah, the angels were up high. They were pacing back and forth, y'all. They was picking up their armor. They was ready for war. And I saw the saints, man. I heard the saints saying this over and over. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The angels were beating their chest. They're getting ready for this war that is getting ready to spill onto our physical realm. Y'all excuse my energy right now, but I'm you know what I'm saying? This was a vivid one where I walked in this energy.
After this video, your life is never going to be the same. So I need you to stop whatever you're doing.
This is getting crazy, yo.
Why would they want to do this on the Eclipse? I have no idea, but this company is super creepy. I'm going to tell you why right now. Now, they say this is super safe, but we're talking about protons colliding, the potential of having a big bang, not to mention how weird it is that this is located in the territory of St. Genus Poli in Switzerland. Now, in Roman times, this town was dedicated to this thing called a polygon. This is the destroyer of worlds. Now, why is that important? Well, the Hadron Collider could lead us into having a black hole. It may go to somewhere where things can come out our end. What a weird coincidence. If you go on their website, they say they have no intention of causing any harm. Well, what scientist, what person has never had an intention of doing something wrong and accidentally blowing up the world or cracking the space-time continuum? So listen to this quote from the director of research at CERN. Something might come through the dimensional doors at LHC, Large Hadron Collider.
Crazy.
And out of this door, something might come. Or we may just send something through the door. CERN says it's for research. This is just the facts. What do you think is really going on with this Hadron Collider tested at the same time as the solar eclipse? I would love to see a comment from you.
This is very crazy stuff here.
Breaking news, this was never supposed to happen, as this deadly biblical warning is happening in real life in less than 1 month, and life on this planet may no longer exist.
People were terrified after scientists reported a haunting celestial biblical event that will hit Earth in just a few weeks. And our Earth could face a supernatural divine ending, as we are seeing signs of this starting with no way to stop it.
Well, on April 8, 2024, a solar eclipse will shroud the U.S. into darkness, and scientists were shocked as it's reported to be passing through biblical towns like Jonah, Texas, the same name that the Bible mentions in Matthew chapter 12, saying there will not be signs of the end except for the prophet of Jonah.
The eclipse will also engulf several other biblical towns into complete darkness, like Rapture, Indiana, and right through the exact location of where Noah's Ark was rebuilt, Williams, Kentucky. The Bible in Luke 17 also warns us of a great flood ending all of us, with our signs being in an eclipse with our stars.
And April's eclipse is rumored to be passing through our constellation Cetus, representing our ocean. What do you think about this? Let me know your thoughts down below.
Kentucky.
Hey, Flanders, heading for church? Well, I thought I could save you a little time.
Ooh, found a new shortcut.
Better. I was working on a flat tax proposal, and I accidentally proved there's no God.
We'll just see about that. Uh-oh. Well, maybe he made a mistake. Nope. It's airtight. Can't let this little doozy get out.
Do not watch the eclipse on April the 8th. The ancients believed that the eclipses were strange phenomena, and that ultimately it was bad luck to watch them. Most of the time, the ancients would stay inside to avoid the eclipses. A lot of beliefs point towards staying inside, fasting while the eclipse is going on, and also believe that pregnant women should stay in the house and avoid them. The energy is highly unusual and can definitely be considered a bad omen.
This stuff has happened before. Why is this one just so crazy?
This is not a regular face. They're trying to tell you that demons are walking with us, and this is their way of trying to tell us in secrets. They're trying to make this normal, so when we walk down the street and see one of these faces, we say, hey, it's just another person. No, these are demons. Remember, 2024 is going to unlock everything that was hidden. So all the time that we thought demons wasn't real, we're about to see it. When we thought aliens wasn't real, we're about to see it. It was a time where we needed our third eye to see these demons and spirits. Not no more, because it's so all connected to events like this. People don't want to believe we are in the end times. They never did their spiritual work. They never did their shadow work. They just went about their life like, hey, shit is just regular. All these events is connected to the solar eclipse, but people still say the solar eclipse is just another day. They are releasing demons from under the ground. These demons once lived under their planet, but now they're being pushed up to the surface. So we're about to be walking around, eating with them, watching games with them, doing everything with them. Shit, don't be surprised if they start making TikTok videos. The movie They Live came out in 1988. It tried to expose what was really happening behind the scenes. But people say, give me my popcorn, give me my hot dog. I just want to watch the movie. You missed what they was trying to tell you. But now nothing is hitting no more because everything that was hitting in the dark is coming to the light. The solar eclipse, dark and the light, and these demons are about to be seen with all of us. You can call them demons, jinns, fallen angels, interdimensional beings, whatever name you want to give them. Just remember, they don't like us. The human race is being slowly replaced with artificial intelligence and demons. We are being replaced at a fast pace, but people still don't want to see it yet. If you put your cell phones down and look up, you will see all kinds of strange events happening up above our heads. People are seeing 3 full moons. 3 full moons. Things like this is not normal. These are not humans. They are really demons. You have to do your spiritual work, your shadow work. You got to ground. You have to do all this kind of extra work because the world we are going into in 2024.
You'll also have
Michael Jordan made more money last year than any active athlete. How is that possible?
have the particle accelerator and them trying to create a portal to see, or whatever they do, they're trying to see how this universe was made. They're trying to figure out the building blocks of how this universe was made. And they're going to be starting that up again on the same day of this spiritual significance total solar eclipse. Now, I'm going to always call it how I see it. People might start seeing demon faces on people after this solar eclipse, after CERN starts up their particle accelerator and get into what they're getting into, trying to figure out the building blocks of how this universe was made. So, yeah, logically, I'm going to think that, yeah, people might start seeing people for who they actually are. People might start seeing demon faces on people. It only makes sense, and that's their excuse. Their excuse is, oh, it's a syndrome now, and people are experiencing this. No, it's things are getting a lot more spiritual, and things are becoming a lot more clear, and the veil is lifting. So they're going to come out with some excuse of why people are seeing the truth. Things have been getting a lot more spiritual since 2020 lockdown, and they're trying to gain full control of this natural occurrence and put their own spin to it. Because why is CERN starting up their particle accelerator on the same day as this solar eclipse? Why? It sounds like some sci-fi shit. It sounds like something out of a movie. Like they're trying to go extra measures until they fuck around and find out, and then we all doomed. And then they mess up the harmonic balance of this world. And that's why people might start seeing demon faces on people and people faces shape-shifting and shit. This is just my thoughts, and it's very well logically put, but I'm not gonna say this is a solid thing. I'm just articulating my thoughts in the way that I see it, in the way that I'm connecting dots. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
I respect
If you haven't heard about the demon face syndrome, it's going around on TikTok. You can search it up. And you can also search up CERN is starting their Hadron Collider on this specific day.
Y'all tell me what
of
y'all
this
think,
spiritual
Rosebud. Leave a
significance.
comment down
So,
below, like, share.
Something's
Leave a
going
comment.
on.
Tell me what you like to see next on
Most likely the energies will shift on this round.
on it.
Yeah. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
All right, so I was not going to say anything about this demon face syndrome, but I have to say something. Y'all don't remember this happening in the 90s? Y'all don't remember this being a whole thing? People would low-key like shapeshift in church. So this video is not for everybody, and I will probably delete it because this is not my type of content. But in the 90s, in Black church, you had something called a deliverance service. Sometimes people would come to the service to get delivered of demonic energies or nightmares, spirits, all types of things, demons, just like the Catholic Church has exorcisms. So people would come to the Black church to be delivered. Sometimes it didn't even take a deliverance service. It could happen in a regular service where this evil energy that was overtaking the person's life, this energy would manifest, and it would sometimes growl, scream, or the person's features would almost shapeshift. The person's physical features would change. Their voice would change right here in church. Like, I know I'm not the only one who remembers this. It was a whole thing. And a lot of times when it would happen, the face resembled this picture that's floating around in the news. And my friends the other day, I was like, well, what happened to all the demons? Because you remember back in church, back in the day, like these evil presences would be challenged in church and they would be cast out. But now it's like, you don't even see people talking about it anymore. This ain't new. This is not new. If you know, you know. You had to be there at Black church in the 90s, not these huge mega churches and with these huge productions. No, it happened at the small country churches where they would call up an old grandma. For some reason, the old grandma had all the power. And sometimes the pastor couldn't even get the demon out of people, or the dark presence. But they would call an old woman to the front and she would tell that evil spirit to leave, and that person's face would change back to normal. I know I'm not the only one. I cannot be the only one who remembers this.
That's a good point.
I was going to delete my video about the demon face syndrome, but y'all told me not to. In fact, some of y'all even messaged me some really interesting stories, and you also commented some of your experiences. There was a woman who told me that she had been seeing this since the 50s. I told y'all it is not new. It is just being called something else, but someone who assists Catholic priests with exorcisms. And she said, yeah, we see this all the time. You'll see this on their faces. For a woman to say, I started seeing this back in 1950, in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but all I'll say, and I'm gonna go back to my normal content. I would get my spirit together. I would get my energy and my spirit right, because stuff is being exposed and you won't be able to hide your true self. You won't be able to hide what you are or who you are. Like, all of these things are just breaking down, and it's really interesting to watch it unfold.
2024 is crazy, bro.
Those
Already.
are demonic looking faces. Like, all of a sudden we have this rare disease.
Has anyone ever noticed how few disabled people, visibly disabled people, you see in churches? Have you ever thought about, perchance, why? It's just so weird how all of these demonic possessions somehow reveal themselves through disability every single time. Weird, 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 is it not? How so many children's movies, TV shows feature a villain with a disability. How most staunch church people, all they do is talk about how everything that is evil manifests in a disability. It's almost like people want to eradicate disabled people, right? It's just so interesting how evangelical Christians will go out of their way to hate disabled people, to present them as demonic. But nobody's really willing to talk about the fact that hate crimes against disabled people are increasing. They've always been on a steady rise. And that eugenics is having a comeback. Now, before you morally superior liberals get on this internet and try to tell me that this is the people that want to take away your right, Buck v. Bell is still the law of the land. So let's stop pretending you give a fuck. But anyways, most of you need to evaluate how you think about disability, because the reality is that it's disabled people and everyone else. Because if it's not one group telling you that you shouldn't exist because of religion, it's another group telling you that you're going to be written out of any future utopia. By the way, they probably either have facial deformities or disabilities. It's not demons.
Google Fi Wireless has flexible phone plans that keep your family even more.
I'm pretty sure that 99% of Americans don't know that the upcoming solar eclipse will be the realization of a prophecy from the Bible, dating back over 2,000 years. On April 8th, a rare total solar eclipse will plunge parts of the US into darkness in the middle of the day. The shocking part is, this eclipse will pass over 8 towns called Nineveh, which is the same city in the Bible where the prophet Jonah warned of God's wrath. Additionally, the constellation Cetus, symbolizing a whale, will be visible during the eclipse, echoing the biblical narrative where Jonah is ingested by a whale before he admonishes Nineveh for its sins. Jesus also mentioned Jonah's sign in the scriptures. In Matthew 16:4, Jesus draws upon this story. Historically, right before Nineveh repented in the story, there was a solar eclipse called the Bersagale eclipse. This astronomical event was said to have caused the pagan city to turn away from false gods and back to the truth. Records of this eclipse were also found in ancient Assyrian artifacts, verifying it happened. America has strayed from God and embraced secular values. This solar eclipse very well may be a sign from the heavens that the door for repentance are closing, just as in the story of Nineveh in the Bible after the astronomical event occurred.
This is crazy stuff.
This man is really going through it. Not only was he recently diagnosed for having demon face syndrome, but every person that he sees looks like this.
Imagine your vision is totally normal, and then one day,
by reason of the smoke of the pit. But just wait. CERN is a hadron collider. It is the largest in the world. It cost billions of dollars, and many nations around the world funded it. It's in Geneva, Switzerland. It's under the ground. Many of the scientists there have claimed that they're opening portals to other dimensions. They're likening it to a Stargate, where entities are coming through, coming in and going out when this thing is turned on. Well, during the eclipse, it's going to be at full power. Not only that, the logo for CERN, where these scientists work underground, is 3 6s wrapped together to make 666.
Crazy.
Not only that, out front, there's a giant statue of Shiva, the goddess of death and destruction, which is going to come into play with what I'm about to show you. Now, understand that during the eclipse, this thing is going to reach full power. Now, they claim that they are trying to open portals and bring entities out. But here's what's crazier about CERN. CERN is located in Geneva, Switzerland, over the temple of Apollo, or in the Bible, Apollyon. Okay, now the Bible specifically references Apollyon in the book of Revelation. Now they claim to be opening portals for entities to come through. It says this in Revelation chapter 9. It says, "The 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key to the bottomless pit. He opened the bottomless pit, and there arose smoke out of the pit, and the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit." But just wait. It says that entities are coming forth from this pit. It says they had breastplates, as it were, breastplates of iron. The sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots and horses running to battle. They had tails like scorpions. They were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men for 5 months. They had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue his name is Apollyon. One woe is past, and woe, 2 more is come hereafter. So the Bible literally says that the key to the bottomless pit will open in the place of Apollyon, which is where CERN is built, where they claim to be opening portals. And the Bible says that out of this pit will come these beasts and creatures that don't exist. This is not the craziest thing you've ever heard in your entire life, that this stuff is literally happening. There are the top scientists in the world working secretly underground in this place that the kings of the world put right over the tomb of Apollo or Apollyon, or the place of the bottomless pit that the Bible calls it. And they are claiming that entities are coming through when the Bible says that out of this place, entities will come through. You guys, what is going? This is it. The Lord is about to return. This is the book of Revelation is literally unfolding before our very eyes. And it will hit peak power. You guessed it, April the
3 hours dying. This is where it gets really, my heart's freaking racing. I never read the from Easter Day to May 17th, 8030. That's crazy. Totally not crazy. Truth. Now let me walk you through each day. Palm Sunday, April 1st. Monday, April 2nd, he cleansed the temple. Tuesday, April 3rd was Jesus' last teaching. Tuesday night, Jesus told his disciples the time of his betrayal. And then on Wednesday, April 4th, he remained in Bethany until Thursday. Thursday, April 5th, they killed the lamb for the Passover meal. Evening and night of Thursday, April 5th was the Last Supper. After supper, they went to the Mount of Olives and entered the Garden of Gethsemane. This is where he is taken and held captive. Good Friday, April 6th, he was arraigned and then taken to a place called Golgotha, the place of a skull, also known as Calvary. This is where he was put on the cross. Is it really a cross? But before he was placed on the cross, he was tortured and placed in a cell overnight. Saturday, April 7th, the Sabbath. Pilate condemned him, and from 6 to 9 a.m. were the preparations for the cross. At 9 a.m., he was placed on the cross, hung on the cross for the next 3 hours, dying. This is where it gets really... My heart's freaking racing. I never read this before. Listen. It was now noon, but such a noon as had never been seen in Judea. The position of the paschal full moon precluded the possibility of a solar eclipse, and yet a supernatural darkness rested upon all the land, from the 6th hour to the 9th hour, as if to veil the last agonies of the Redeemer from the eyes of men. But far deeper than that, darkness was the gloom that weighed upon the Savior's soul, as he bore the whole burden of the divine wrath for the sins of all men. Was on the cross all day until sunset, which was the beginning of the Sabbath, Saturday evening. Died in 6 hours, literally of a broken heart. Taken down from the cross and placed in a tomb. Sunday, April 8th, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The solar eclipse is nothing other than proof to us that it happened. Jesus died on the cross to save us from our sins. In the solar eclipse, that was the veil. That is the proof. That is the reminder to us. Just as the rainbow is a reminder to us that God will never flood the earth again. The solar eclipse is Monday, April 8th. Then Easter Sunday is Tuesday, April 9th. What are your thoughts? Tell me in the comments.
I've got a problem that I'm pretty sure you can help me with. Yes, you will be paid for helping me. Actually paid really, really well. Before you skip this video, let me quickly show you a few of the people that have already started helping me. Here's why I need your help. I'm on a mission to recover $10 million within the next 12 months to American patriots that have unrightly been robbed of these funds and are not aware the funds still belong to them. $14 million are being
think I'm crazy. Saying something's about to go down on April 8th. Watch this. Hey, Alexa, are we going to die on April 8th, 2024?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor. Unfortunately, yes.
What? What?
You're telling me that I can put my butt cheeks on the internet for free, and that's going to stick it to the man? Free the nipple is an Instagram campaign? Oh yeah, he's going to be really upset, ladies, when you're naked on the internet. You're telling me that women are being taught to have multiple partners as some act of sexual freedom. Oh yeah, ladies, it's really going to suck when you tell men, I don't want a relationship, but I'll sleep with you for nothing because modern feminism says that that's good. It sucks. Oh, now I get to work just like a man, hours day in and day out. Dude, we were just cooking. I love cooking. Who fought for feminism, modern feminism? People keep thinking that these are things that women liked. And when you actually look at happiness, women are not happy anymay because we're being told that we still have to be a woman, but also be like a man. It shouldn't be like that.
Ooh.
If you are not struggling financially right now, then you need to consider yourself completely blessed. Like, don't even consider yourself. You are completely blessed. Like, every time I check my local mom group on Facebook, I see requests or people asking where they can get some financial assistance to pay utilities or assistance with rent. And it's concerning because these people are working full-time jobs and they just can't make things work right now. For example, this morning, a woman posted she's an RN working 2 jobs and still is struggling. I know we're all complaining about how expensive things are. For me personally, like my car insurance doubled in August. I was paying around $140 a month, and now I'm paying $280 for 2 vehicles, and I'm one driver. And I have never had a claim. There was no reason for the increase other than they just increased me. On top of that, Florida Power and Light rules the entire state of Florida now. They bought out Gulf Power, and since then, all I ever hear about from people is how astronomical their utility bills are. Everyone is trying to find ways to save money. But as soon as we save money in one area, something else goes up. So it's just kind of like we're sliding this scale back and forth, and it's actually like increasing. We're never saving, no matter how hard we try. Like, I stopped eating out with my kids. Obviously, eating out is super expensive, but I went almost a month no eating out, and it was still a struggle.
Wow.
And if you made it this far, I don't mean this to be like a pity party thing. I'm figuring it out. But last Friday, my birthday, my boss cut my hours in half.
Wow.
So yeah, I guess this is also like a PSA to people who aren't struggling right now. Don't be tone deaf, because you never know what's going on behind the scenes.
That's
if you
real.
start to notice behavior changes and lifestyle changes, I can promise you it's because people are being proactive, or I don't know, maybe reactive to their financial situation. It's just a mess.
When you live in a world without text and pictures, life can often feel empty. The Orcam Read 3 brings...
Damn.
If the last 40 years repeats itself, in 2063, we'll see these prices. A new car will cost about $136,000. The average rent will be about $9,000 a month. The gas price will be about $13 a gallon. An average home will cost about $1.9 million. And the average salary will be about $100,000 a year. Now, look, we can laugh about these numbers all we want, because they are pretty comical. But unfortunately, we live in a clown world, and this might just happen because inflation, like all other things, unfortunately compounds. Remember back in 2008 when the world was melting and Ben Bernanke came out with these huge stimulus packages, people criticized him because they thought, oh my God, $500 billion, that's wild. $700 billion, that's insane. And then whenever the lockdowns occurred in 2020, we printed trillions upon trillions of dollars. They said the same exact thing. They're like, oh my God, that's insane. That's so much money. Well, the next time something happens and they pivot and they print money, how much do you think it's going to be? It's not going to be single digit trillion. It's going to be tens of trillions of dollars. AOC already said she wants to implement a $90 trillion spending initiative on climate. That should give you an idea of how much we are going to inflate this currency away over the course of time. Not only that, but our world is just getting harder. Gas prices are going to go up because, simply put, there's not going to be enough gas. Saudi Arabia is already reducing the amount of gas it's selling. Russia has cut off exports entirely. In the US, well, we just don't want to frack for shit here, which is a shame because we really could, and our gas would be a lot cheaper. And unfortunately, gas goes into every one of these other things. It goes into how much your car costs. It goes into how much the rent is, because you need gas for a lot of things that build a fucking house, or at least go in the house. So you see where this is going. If you don't start making and investing money now, you're never going to get rich. And I'm saying this in a position of absolute fear. I am fearful every day that I'm not going to make enough, because quite frankly, we don't know how much it's going to take. It might take an ungodly number that none of us are going to be able to read.
Late fees are $50. Application fee is $65, and it's non-refundable. And you maybe need a third-day job.
That is real.
See, also, I'm gonna need your firstborn's birth certificate, some Yahoos, and some food snacks. Oh hell no! I'm all set. Thank you.
3 times the rent.
Mom!
3 times the rent.
I'm gonna tell you how we are here in the United States of America. You know you're in the United States of America when you can buy this little amount of food and it costs you what it just cost me. I bought a bottle.
Okay, I'm gonna share one more with you all, and then I'm gonna leave. Yeah, oh, it's 11. I didn't know it was that late. One more with you all, okay? Let me share one more. Thank you for being with me here. Tomorrow's Jam Essentials.
And normally, I'll be like,
Oh, I'm sorry, that's not it. Well, then that's it. That's it for tonight, everyone. Tonight, next time, I'll arrivederci. I'm finna go to bed. Talk to you all later.